What up, YouTube family, YouTube friends? So we're gonna have a chat about abundance today, and this is like the third time I've sat down to record this, and I've actually recorded 2 other videos, and yeah, I'm in this space where this message is going to be received, and I'm not gonna look perfect doing it. Like, we're in eclipse season, there's a lot going on, and yeah, even just with my skin, I felt so insecure about just being behind a camera and sharing this message. But working through that fear is the perfect reflection of abundance and self-love. So it's all connected. I also don't know how this is going to flow. Granted, I'm outside in nature with Penny. So we'll see how this flows. But yeah, this topic has been coming up into my field quite a bit lately. And not just the topic of abundance and how everything already is abundant, and if you're not tapped into it, you still can tap into it. But these misconceptions and these really false beliefs about abundance. So I feel like me sharing this is gonna help dissolve some of that energy within any of your guys' minds if it's there. But I also feel like this message is perfectly timed and is going to be received at a moment in your journey where things are not necessarily super flowy. So if this reaches you, I'm here for you, I'm here for support, and yeah, let's get going on this conversation. So one of the biggest things that I feel like people misperceive about abundance is when anybody thinks about abundance, they think of a fancy house. They think of somebody driving a fancy car, somebody who's retired, goes on lots of vacations, has a lot of money, and just yeah, does the thing. And in many instances, that can be the experience of somebody who's anchored in abundance, who's anchoring in their own form of abundance, but that's not going to be the experience that everybody else has. So I feel like first and foremost, just breaking down the word abundance would be really helpful. So, and I did a session on this, taking a bunch of notes just for my own understanding about abundance, because my connection to abundance is growing a lot. But I also feel like the more of us who understand what I'm talking about when I mention abundance, the more this conversation is just going to make sense to you. So abundance literally means to have more than enough. I'm not sure what the Google definition says. If you look it up in the Webster dictionary, I'm not sure if it will say that, but this is coming from my guides, my team in Container. Abundance is to have more than enough. It does not necessarily mean the energy of excess. I feel like excess is connected to lust in some way, but that abundance, just when really breaking it down, 333 on the clock, it's just to have more than enough. Now that brings me to my next point. I think more people are far more abundant than they let themselves believe, and it's the mind that tries to direct to them that they're not already abundant. For instance, when you go to sleep tonight, is there a roof over your head? Did you eat food today? Do you have access to clean water? Do you have access to a car? Do you have access to fresh fruit and vegetables? If you answer yes to that, you are already doing very, very, very well. And I think it's important to reflect on that. And my invitation too, after this video, over the next week, especially this weekend, explore where you're already abundant. You know, it's great to recognize that you have not reached a certain goal yet, but don't attach your abundance connection to you not reaching that goal yet. For instance, I just started this new job. I started a new gig literally on the lunar eclipse. Perfectly divine. And I'll be honest, like, I'm on a path where I don't want to work for another person ever again. Like, I don't at all. But that's not my path yet. So I can recognize that although that is the goal, that is a goal of mine that I have not yet attained, I'm still extremely grateful for everything that's present in my life. And this job, literally like the perfect conditions that I was presented with in order to accept this position. I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but like, I trust everything that I share in this recording is meant to be documented. When I left my last job, I made it so clear to my guides. I'm like, I cannot do it anymore. I can't deal with people's egos. Like, if I'm gonna do this, like, the conditions literally have to be perfect. And I got extremely specific about what those conditions were and needed to be. And so yeah, ultimately it's just an invitation to reflect on how abundant you already are. I think too, it's like, people forget you can be tapped into abundance and be connected to lack and scarcity at the same time. Just like you can be in an emotion of happiness and be grieving something at the same time too. These are not like you're either here or you're here. It's not like that at all. Which can be really hard if you're somebody who's on a similar path where part of your mission is to not only anchor this abundance, like clearing out the lack and scarcity from your field, but to manifest more of abundance, what it means to you into the 3D. I just paused so I could reflect on this. But a lot of people get stuck clearing out a lot of this mental programming from their mind that blocks them from more abundance. But then a lot of people also struggle with really like pulling it down into the physical. It's like they understand the concept, but they struggle bringing it down into the 3D. And if you are on this page, if you tune into these videos, and if these videos resonate, I can pretty much guess, and I'm not going to say I assume, but like, you're on a similar path where part of your purpose too is to not just imagine these concepts, imagine these higher dimensional planes of existence that exist, but to pull them down into the physical, to manifest more of them into the 3D. And it's a beautiful path. Like, like if you're a soul brother or soul sister of mine, like, I see you. Like, that work, it's not that the work is not easy, but it's just a very, very big mission. So I'm gonna pause this again to see what else wants to come through. I'm feeling like we're kind of wrapping up. Another thing I invite you to reflect on, and if you have like strong gifts, a strong connection to your gifts, maybe explore what percent you're connected to abundance and what percent you're connected, like attached to lack and scarcity. And play around with maybe asking to have it be identified, like, where is it in your field? Is it in the mind? Is it in the heart? Is it in other parts of the body? And it's not just like that, finding that information will do the work, but finding that information will give you another layer to explore that can take you way deeper into understanding how this lack and scarcity is manifesting. I know, like, a lot of us are dealing with these financial distortions as a result of the financial distortion that's within the system that we're navigating, that we're trying to free ourselves from. So, some of it's just within, societal programming. Like, for instance, the US is in debt by, I don't know the exact number right now, but it's trillions of dollars in debt. So from the get-go, people in the United States are born to believe that even from when they're being born, there already is not enough money to go around. And that's deep. Like, that gets you really deep. But the reality of it is that there is enough to go around. That there is enough to go around for you to make money, as well as for other people around you to make money. And this consciousness, this energy can manifest very interesting ways. So, you know, I also imagine too, like looking into the lifetimes, like understanding what are the lessons within some of these lifetimes that you experienced around lack, scarcity, trying to anchor abundance and not fully anchoring it, like exploring those lessons and energetics within those lifetimes too. I can't say every single time, but much of them are going to connect to a certain puzzle piece that you're putting together in this life now. So yeah, looking into like figuring out, like, is it manifesting more in your mind? And that's not just to say, like, if it's there, that's not me suggesting that it's just programming that needs to be resolved, but you know, maybe in a lifetime you were spoken to by other people around you, or maybe you had like a partner that, you know, controlled your guys' finances, or, you know, I could go so many different ways. I mean, this is just like, explore the Akashic. I think I'll just put it that way. And yeah, just really getting clear with like what you feel like really is lacking in this world, and exploring that. Could it be already abundant? And if it's not, like taking a look too, like, because there really are real problems on this planet, like extremely dense issues. You know, one of them being too, it's just like there are literally such rich people on this planet that they could resolve, you know, world hunger overnight, but they're not going to. So like that, you know, there's so much just out there and at play. But I don't want you to like, the intention of this video is not for you to like, you know, freak out about that, but it's to really explore how you're already abundant. And yeah, how you're already abundant, what abundance means to you, how you can grow your own abundance. Because for me, I'm finding new connections with like my abundance and self-love. And for me, abundance is to have like an overflow in health, an overflow in my relationship that I have to myself, having more than enough love shared between relationships that I have with other people, having enough energy to get through my day and to, you know, accomplish life's tasks, to be pain-free. Honestly, there are many ways that it manifests for me, that goes beyond materialistic security. So I think I'll just leave it at that. I feel like we're in an extremely special weekend. It's gonna be an extremely special weekend. And yeah, I've just been sitting in front of this little bed of water, this body of water. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll be chatting with you soon. I hope this conversation helped, though, truly.